Hi, I'm Jerrel from Sungrand, developer of the Silver Falls games. Today, I want to discuss a topic that applies to anyone that is in the design process when it comes to creating video games. This isn't just for people who are interested into getting into game design or who are early on. This applies to people of all experience levels, even if you've been making games for years and years or even decades. This topic is how to design better games. Now, this topic doesn't cover the development process. This is not about creating the games in terms of programming and doing the graphics and bringing it all together. This is about creating the core game concept, about what actually creates that game experience. So let's start with the idea of a game genre and how that kind of leads things to go wrong. So if I were to say create a JRPG, you would inevitably think, okay, well, a JRPG, it's you'll explore a big environment, you will recruit characters, they'll have archetypes, you'll have a knight, a wizard, there'll be random battles, there'll be magic, there'll be equipment. Okay, let's say create a first-person shooter. Well, okay, the game will have guns. You'll explore a map in first-person perspective, and you'll shoot your enemies. If I say create a fighting game, you would think, okay, well, you push buttons and you hit your enemy a bunch of times until you reduce their HP to 0. If I say create a racing game, you would make something where you pilot a vehicle and you navigate a track as quickly as possible. That's a racing game. Now, the problem is, if you set out to create a video game, and that is all you will make. If you say, I'll make a video game, I will make a fighting game, I'll make a racing game, that is all you will make, because that is what you've set out to create. You will make something that fits the definition of a video game. Now, you might be asking, what's wrong with that? That's what you're setting out to do. Well, the problem with that is we already have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of video games. Do we really need another video game that's the exact same as everything else that's come before it? Is that giving your audience, your customer, is that fair to give them the exact same experience with nothing new or interesting? So by setting out to create a video game, you miss the opportunity to create a new and interesting experience. My perspective on the topic is, do not set out to create a game, set out to create an experience. Now, what do I mean by that? So, let's take this from an altruistic perspective. Our industry is in a place right now where it's dominated by AAA studios who are leaning heavily on predatory practices more and more with each passing year. We are seeing ever greed-driven monetization. We are seeing season passes, live service models, and ever-increasing AI-generated content that will take the place of someone who could have created something interesting and new. We are now just seeing generic AI-generated content that isn't capable of creating expressive, creative ideas, new and interesting ideas. So, as creators, we need to do more. It's our job to make sure that this industry moves forward into a healthy position. And in order to do that, we have to do better. We have to do more. So, when I say create a game, I say do not set out to create a game, set out to create an experience. You should draw on your life experiences, and you should set out to have more life experiences so that when you create a game, it is full of interesting and new ideas. I strongly urge you to explore your odd, obscure interests and hobbies. Spend less time playing video games, because if your entire life is just playing video games, that is all you will be able to put into your games. You will only be able to keep repeating and recycling ideas because that's all you see. If all you do is play games, that's all you will be able to make. I urge you to go out into the real world, spend time exploring yourself, exploring the things that you like, even if it's just a weird, odd, obscure hobby. The more that you learn about the world, the more that you learn about yourself, then the more you will have to say. And with that, the more you'll be able to create interesting experiences and share your interesting ideas with people. But how will you ever cultivate your ability to express interesting ideas if all you do is look at video games? I believe that the worst thing you can do when researching to create a video game is to play more video games, because those will not allow you to find new concepts and find your voice. You are just going to be repeating what someone else has already done in video games. So, get out there, spend more time in the real world, explore new and interesting hobbies. Look up something odd and interesting, a hobby that you previously had never even heard of, but if it piques your interest, go and explore that. Spend time in the real world exploring that. Speak to people who are passionate about these hobbies. Learn everything you can about something. It's your job to take those interesting concepts and turn it into something fun and coherent and cohesive and rewarding in the form of a video game. So, that is my philosophy on the issue. That is my perspective on how to create better video games. I am launching a new game on the 25th of January. That's in a couple days. By the time you see this video, maybe the game will already be out on the Nintendo Switch. That is Silver Falls Guardians and Metal Exterminators S, exclusively on the Nintendo Switch eShop. If you're interested, please feel free to go ahead and check that out. That's the game that's just been my background here for the past few minutes. So I have more games coming in the year as well, and I'll be covering more topics that people have asked me about that they're interested in hearing about. So I hope you're all well. Please take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Silver Falls.